with the meeting because it's not a public hearing per se, so we can rebroadcast it live, thank goodness. But for whatever reason, YouTube is not letting me go live. But we can move forward with our meeting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, because yes, we are recording right now, I believe.
Yes, it is now recording for rebroadcast.
So I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6:12 p.m. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Residents of the town of Dayton, it's the town of Dayton Planning Board regular meeting, public hearing held remotely Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020 at 6 p.m. This is the revised addition to the agenda. Due to the increasing concerns surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting/public hearing will be held remotely with no physical meeting location. Those seeking to provide public input should do so using the methods listed below. Video and audio of the meeting will be aired on Comcast Local TV 9 at a later date. A live recording of the meeting will be available on the Town of Dayton YouTube channel. We are not going live this evening. We are being recorded, but it can be accessed at a later date using the link of www.youtube.com/Town of Dayton Planning and Use. Public input may be provided using the following methods. Contact our office at keasterday@dayton-mass.gov. Use the email subject line, regular meeting, December 2nd, 2020, public input, and include your name and address for the record. Or you can call 508-669-6431, extension 114, during the meeting. Leave a voicemail if necessary. But I would like to have everyone, if you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Members of the board, I will entertain a motion to confirm the next meeting date of December 16th of 2020.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion on the next meeting date of December 16th of 2020? Hearing none, let's vote. By roll, Vice Chairman Boner.
Aye.
Mr. Figueredo.
Aye.
Mr. Cavallo.
Aye.
Mr. Rhines. Aye. We're going to move on to agenda item number 4 under business. This is the review, discuss, and act on a project design revision review from Clearway Energy Group, LLC, 0 William Street, map 11, lots 8-01 and 9. Now, members of the board, before I let the engineer speak, I'm sure that everyone's had an opportunity to look at the recalculations of the original calculations for that system that was discussed at the last meeting. So, and if Mrs. Easterday, if you could, thank you very much. You've read my mind. If you look at the plans in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see the box, and Mrs. Easterday is pointing that out with a pointer. And you'll see the calculations. Everything's been reworked and resubmitted, and Mr. Williams has had an opportunity to look at the plans. Members of the board, do you have any questions in regards to the updated plans?
I do not.
No, sir.
Yeah, nothing here. I'm satisfied with the updates.
Thank you, and I as well. We've all had an opportunity to look at it. Mr. Williams, if you would please, I'd like you to weigh in on this.
Yes, at the previous meeting, I had indicated that I was, had reviewed the calculations and plans and was satisfied, and that we just needed some additional details on the plans, which they have added, so I have no other comments or objections.
Thank you. Mrs. Easterday, if we could go back to the main screen? Thank you. I would just like to ask the engineer from Clearway, I'm sorry, the permit manager, Ms. Sherwood, if you'd like to add anything at this time. You'll have to unmute yourself, Mrs. Sherwood.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thanks.
I just wanted to thank the board and their time in reviewing this, and Peter, your attention to the details here and getting it right. Dan Von Allman, who is the project manager for this, I just want to offer him an opportunity to speak if he has anything to add.
Yes, absolutely. Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, nothing else to add other than, we're excited to bring this project to fruition. It's been a long road through the prior developers, and we're excited to get it approved and make it a reality. So appreciate your time in reviewing and hopefully approval today. So thank you.
Mr. Sloss, any comments, sir?
No further comments from me. Thank you.
Anyone else that's representing Clearway this evening would like to comment?
Yeah, this is
I'd just
Scott.
like to,
Take
I'm
this
sorry, go ahead, I'm
opportunity
sorry.
to-
Go
I
ahead.
just want to take this
Go ahead, I'm
opportunity to thank everybody for reviewing this and to wish you all a very happy and safe holiday season.
And you as well in a full Clearway group. I'd just like to add, before we do bring this to a vote to the board, that since they've cleared our hurdle through the planning board when we vote, that their next step is going to be to go to the stormwater committee, and they'll be able to submit their paperwork there. I just want to just remind everyone from that group that the 48-hour period where information must be provided to whatever committee you're dealing with so it can get posted properly. That's all. Just that state law in the state, just a reminder to everyone, that's all. I know that was just a little hiccup in the beginning, so I just don't want to see that going forward for you guys after everything you've been through, so.
And weekends, holidays, or Fridays don't count, right? That one's got me before.
Oh.
No, I don't think Fridays count. 'Cause Fridays are a day off, so you can't count Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or holiday if it's on a Monday. Those don't count.
Okay,
Okay.
I've been
tis the
burned on that.
season. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I've been burned on that
Yeah,
one a
we
couple
only have
times.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thanks for clarifying that, Mr. Cavalli. Yeah, we only have a 4-day work week in town for the employees. So with that being said, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the revision for Clearway Energy Group LLC, 0 William Street, map 11, lots 8-01 and number 9.
I will make that motion.
I'll
Motion's
second.
been made and seconded by Mr. Figueredo. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote by roll. Vice Chairman Boner.
Aye.
Mr. Figueredo.
Aye.
Mr. Cavallo.
Aye.
Mr. Rhines. Aye. Thank you, Clearway. We look forward to seeing you guys come to town and bring your project to fruition. So good luck to everyone. And again,
Congratulations.
Thank
happy
you.
holidays to all and be safe.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Happy holidays.
You're very welcome. So with that being said, we're going to move on to agenda item 4B, which is to review, discuss, and act on the change in ownership notification for Brook Street Solar, 0 Brook Street, map 16, lot 28. Now, members, I believe you do have all this information in your packets, and this is standard operating procedure that needs to take place with the change of ownership. And let me just read the communication that we received. To our office manager, Kerry Easterday, office manager, planning board, town of Dayton, 979 Somerset Avenue, Dayton, Mass. 02715. Reference of ownership of the ground mount solar PV project on Brook Street and Pine Street. This is to inform the town of Dayton that the 2.7 megawatt AC ground mount solar project on Brook Street and Pine Street is now owned by GHTJA Capitals 03 LLC, which is owned by Grasshopper Energy LLC. Grasshopper Energy was founded in 2007 to address the need for efficient deployment of solar energy generation by creating a vertically integrated platform to deliver end-to-end renewable energy solutions. It currently has $6.5 billion in assets under operation in various stages of development in countries around the world. Achieving extensive success in Canada, Grasshopper started in 2019 acquiring projects in the United States and Japan. Out of the multiple projects currently in Grasshopper's portfolio in the United States, Grasshopper is currently in the build phase for 5 ground mount projects in Massachusetts totaling 27 megawatts DC. Please direct any queries about the project to me if required, and kindly, that's from Grace Russell, and she is the Director of Project Development, and her office number is 416-477-0726, extension 174, and I will not give out her mobile number unless she shakes her head and says yes. Sure, she says. And that is mobile. She can be reached at 1-519-619-1457. So with that being said, members, you've had an opportunity to look at this, and I'm going to give Ms. Russell an opportunity to speak to the board. The floor is yours.
Okay, so good evening, and thank you very much for putting us on the agenda. Yeah, this is to officially notify you that Grasshopper Energy LLC has purchased this project from the previous developer. And we created the project entity that will own the project, but Grasshopper Energy is essentially the one that will be managing the project. From a status point of view, I believe the stormwater permit application went in today, and the building permit application will be following in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So right before the holidays, understanding that it will be probably reviewed in the new year. Are there any questions from the board?
Board members, any
Do you
questions?
foresee any changes forthcoming?
Right now, there was a change that we're reviewing in regards to the entrance permit, which I believe has been discussed already with some of the members on council. And it has to do because of some polls with National Grid that we're going back and forth with them. So there is potentially a possible change, correct?
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Figueredo, any questions?
Nope.
Mr. Cavallo?
So with those changes, is this going to come back through this body, or is it already come through and this is just a notification of ownership change?
No, this is just a notification of ownership change, but there will be a second submission for the changes that we need to make. We're just trying to hash something out with National Grid, and once we have that done, then we're going to come to you with a change for the entrance.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Nothing further from me, Chairman.
Thank you. So I have no questions of the applicant. They will be in contact with us in the future. So at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the change of ownership. Excuse me just for a second. The change of ownership notification for Brook Street Solar, 0 Brook Street, map 16, lot 28.
So move.
Motion been made. Do I hear a second? Motion made and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote by roll. Vice Chairman Boner.
Aye.
Mr. Figueredo?
Aye.
Mr. Cavallo?
Aye.
Mr. Rhines? Aye. Ms. Russell, thank you very much. We look forward to working with you in the future.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
If you need anything at any time, please feel free to reach out to our office manager, Mrs. Easterday.
Hi. Very good. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night. Happy holidays.
You too.
Gentlemen, this time I'm going to move on to agenda item number 5, and that is to approve the meeting minutes of the November 18th, 2020 meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for November 18th, 2020.
Motion made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any further discussion on the approval of the meeting minutes of November 18th of 2020? Hearing none, let's vote by roll. Vice Chairman Boner,
Aye.
Mr. Figueredo,
Aye.
Mr. Cavallo,
Aye.
Mr. Rhines, aye. And motion carries. Gentlemen, under correspondence, you're going to see in your packet this evening that Mrs. Easterday has provided this, and this is for your ethics test, conflict of interest. It's that time of the year. You must get on the internet. All the information is provided for the site. And I believe you have to print out your certificate so Mrs. Easterday has it and send it along with your packet. Is that correct, Mrs. Easterday?
I believe it's done every 2 years, so if you are due, you have to submit it. The packet that you have, there's a signature in the back that you just sign saying, yes, you have received it. Jeff, I'm gonna send yours by PDF.
Okay.
But if you haven't done your ethics test in 2 years, I think it's every 2 years, that part you have to do online. But the packet that you have at the very end, you just have to sign saying you acknowledge that packet and just return it back to me. Feel free to sign it, send a picture with your phone, and I can print it off and submit it that way, if you want to do it that way. Or I'm
you
more than happy to
accidentally-
see you at the office.
If you accidentally do it every year, does that just make you twice as ethical?
Sure. Yeah, you get 2 gold stars.
Oh, that's funny.
Too many ideas.
That's great.
Ugh.
So, gentlemen, before we do wrap up this evening, I believe everyone received it via emails. I want to speak about on this. It's not on the agenda this evening, but our engineer is still with us. They've been doing some work up at Billy's Lane in Tommy's Way in that vicinity. And a contractor I had noticed that about 2 weeks ago had driven through, and MJD was up there, and they were prepping the sidewalk work to be done, and doing a few other things up there. Now, I understand that the sidewalk has been paved, and, you know, they use the compactor to pave the sidewalk. I believe that the only thing left to do is the handicap approach in the southeast corner of the development leading out. And I think that's just about it. Mr. Williams, if you want to just briefly speak on the communication you sent everyone.
Yes, I actually went by there because at the last meeting you mentioned that they're out there doing work, and I wasn't aware of that. And so I did drive by and notice that they were doing that last section on Billy's Way, is it, to complete the sidewalk work. I mean, the thing that in my letter, as I indicated, is that typically you have a roller compactor when you're doing the sidewalks and it's placed in courses, and they weren't doing it that way. They were just hand placing the 3 inches and then a vibratory plate compactor. I don't know if that's going to, you know, stand up over time. So, I mean, that's kind of a concern. Maybe I could talk to Tom Ferry about it if he feels comfortable. I mean, the sidewalks don't get the heavy truck or any sort of traffic, and it may be suitable, but we don't want that, you know, left to the town in the future. They do have other things to do out there. That was the last item. They actually have cracks in the sidewalk ramps still that have to be addressed. And then I'll have to do a punch list to see what they have left for the, you know, for the complete subdivision. So that would probably be the next steps.
Okay. Have you had any communication with their engineer, Mr. Dunn, at all?
Mr. Dunn sent me an email, I think it was yesterday. I haven't responded to it yet because I was kind of hoping to talk to the board tonight and get any feedback before I talk to him. But if he
Okay.
wants to go out and have another site meeting, which we've had 4 in the last year or so, I'm going to try to be more specific with him and see exactly what he wants to talk about. And if things can be done, from afar, reduce a trip down there. But if he wants to meet and I can, suggest to him, maybe I can start the punch list and we could go that way.
Okay, great. Members, any questions of our engineer, Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
The only thing that concerns me, if it's not compacted properly and water gets underneath it, at the height, that thing is gonna just lift right up and crack everywhere. But I'm sure that you will take care of that, right? Tom Ferry?
Yeah, I'll talk to Tom about it and see what his opinion of it is.
Okay, great.
I'm sorry, did they go over the existing material at all, or?
No, but I believe I wasn't there during the whole time. I mean, if Mr.
was,
Rhines hadn't mentioned this to me, I would have known nothing about this until
No,
I
they
back out there.
went down to dirt. I saw them do that. They went
Okay,
down.
Yeah, it was
that's
a-
what
it
it
was a
appeared
tear
they
out.
were doing, but I couldn't, in that section I saw. I only saw one section that they did. And
Yeah, it was a tear out, and I just happened to see them, they were putting new crush bank down and compacting that, but I never saw them lay the asphalt. They weren't there when I went by doing
I think
that.
they did that the next day when I went by.
Okay. Do we have anything else for our engineer, Mrs. Aziz, today?
No, not at this time. I don't think, no?
No, I don't have anything else either. Peter, thanks as always. And we'll be in touch. I think we may have to have you on with us next month anyway, so we got some other things that are coming up.
What would that be?
Well, just things to wrap up, I believe. And that would be Phillies Lane, Tommy's Way. Let's see, what else do we have on our list? They've been doing just cleanup at, Cherry Center Street, Maris Lane. I always forget the name, Maris Lane. They've been doing a little cleanup up of Maris Lane, but they haven't done any other excavation up there or any land clearing of the sort yet. But I know that they're probably going to get ready to do it, I would assume. So that's
Well,
something
they
to keep ahead
probably
of.
passed the window for any paving this year, that's for sure.
Yeah, just December 15th, all the plants close usually, so.
Yeah, and they're not ready for anything, I think, right now. So, okay.
Peter, thank you as always. We'll be in touch.
Okay, and everybody have a happy holiday.
You
You
too.
too, Peter.
All right,
Happy holidays to you, sir, you as well. Thank you very much.
I'll see you.
Be safe.
Will do.
Mrs. Easterday, do we have anything else under correspondence for this evening?
We do not.
I'm going to move on to agenda item number 7, public input. Do we have any public input to Mrs. Easterday this evening?
We do not.
Oh,
I just
But we're not live,
want
so there's really no way. We did have, the Bousselets were, trying to participate, for the Brook Street Solar, but unfortunately I informed them that we were having some technical difficulties, but assured them that the only matter that you guys were, addressing was the change in ownership. But that was it.
Okay.
Carrie, it's
I'm gonna
Laura
see-
Cable. If this is still the public input portion, I just want to let you know I emailed you about the possible fixes to the YouTube issue. I did some research during you guys' meeting, so if you want to talk about that after.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Someday we'll get
Great,
this figured
thank
out.
you. Thank you very much. Before we adjourn, I just want to say that, we're on again next month, this month for the 16th. Just a reminder. Kerry, I think it would be proper, I do say this evening, is that last month we had a application that was brought to us from the Dayton Trails Committee. And doing some research after the vote was taken at the meeting and looking at Cushing's manual, I had made a parliamentary procedural mistake. And the mistake is that the planning board itself is a board that comprises of 5 members. And of that 5, you have 3 voting members for a majority. But in any situation where the members decrease, the majority changes. So we had the situation where we had a member that was out and a member who had to recuse himself. And it was a 3-member vote. And the vote was 2-1. And I mistakenly said that the motion did not pass. So we're going to have a correction at our next meeting where we will make the proper correction for the vote. That's the vote should be a majority vote. So we'll make a correction in next month's meeting. So Mr. Cavallo, I know that you had recused yourself because you were representing the Dayton Trails Committee. Would you have any problem being on our agenda for December 16th?
No, it's okay. We're just going to discuss the change of the decision, right? We're not revoting?
Correct.
Okay.
We,
Yeah, so we're voting on simple majority, not supermajority.
correct.
No, I'm good with that. Thank you.
All right, great. I just wanted to just clear that up. So we have no further input. Members, I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn if Mrs. Easterday has nothing further for us.
Nothing further.
This means I have to go decorate.
That's
Sorry,
right,
Joe.
exactly.
You
I
can
tried my
always,
best.
Do it, Mr.
you can always just
Figueredo.
go to YouTube and watch old planning board videos and make believe you're talking.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
Excellent idea.
Oh, now I know your guys' trick.
There we go. So again, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is made and second. Any further discussion on adjournments? Hearing none, let's vote by roll. Vice Chairman Boner,
Aye.
Mr. Figueredo,
Aye.
Mr. Cavallo, Mr. Ryan's aye. Mrs. Easterday, thank you. Cable, thank you as always, and good night, residents of Dayton.
Good
All right,
night.
everybody.
Night.
Good night, all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys.